So in the book of Esther, we've got Ahasuerus, the king, and he's married to Vashti, and he asks his wife to come before all the people to stand to show how beautiful she is, and she refuses the king's order. And as a result, she's put out of the palace, and the king wants a new wife. And outside the city, at the gate of the palace, is Mordecai. And Mordecai, who lives with Mordecai, is a little girl called Esther. Both her parents have died. She's an orphan, but she's raised by Mordecai, and she's now in her late teens. And one day Mordecai said, Esther, the king is looking for a new wife, and he's asked for all the girls to come and parade themselves before the king, and from them he'll choose one person, and that person is going to be the new queen. So do you think it's possible God could take a little girl who's an orphan and raise her up to be the king over half the world? With God, nothing is impossible. So Mordecai spoke to the king, and Esther was allowed to enter. It was almost like a competition to come before the king, and for 6 months she was able to prepare herself and to make herself as beautiful as she possibly could. So all her friends would come together and have a nice time, and Esther would speak to them, and they would spend time preparing her hair, because this was a big challenge. Imagine this little girl who was an orphan child, and now she was about to come before the king. And the king would either like her, he would say yay or nay. And just by looking at her, he would make his judgment immediately. And the girl spent time, day after day after day, making her skin as beautiful and as perfect as they possibly could. So whenever the king looked at this girl, by her beauty, he would instantly fall in love with her. Would that be possible? We're going to find out. So now King Ahasuerus has made his choice, and out of all the girls, he's chosen the young orphan girl, Esther. This is a girl, no mommy, no daddy, and yet of all the people, this Jewish little girl was chosen. And she got down on her knee, and the king crowned her as his new queen. And she stood up, and he took her by the arm, and they both sat down, and he looked at her, and he was so happy. And now, remember, Esther's a Jew, and as our cousin Mordecai said, whatever you do, don't tell the king you're a Jew. This is a girl who knows God in her heart. She's a Jewish girl, and the king doesn't even know that. And one day the king, without realizing it, is going to summons all the Jews, including his wife, to death. And Esther, very serious about her relationship with God, was able to go with her friends and pray. And God used this girl to save all of her own people. A young girl who knew God in her heart, and God used her. He chose her. And just like a little girl or little boy today, God can save you, he can raise you up, and he can use you to do mighty, mighty things for him. Are you willing to be that person?